here with the Massachusetts Democratic Party Chair, John Walsh. Sir, this is a big day for Massachusetts Democrats. Obviously, a big speech from Elizabeth Warren, and a lot of people now looking at rallying around Elizabeth Warren and rallying around the president. Your thoughts about this opening day?
You know, it's a lot of excitement here. I'm so psyched to see you guys here. There are people roaming across the city of Charlotte that are looking for Massachusetts delegates to say, what was the truth about Mitt Romney when he was your governor? So we say this is a working convention for us because every delegate has a mission to explain what it was like to have Massachusetts fall to 47th out of 50 in job growth, what it was like for him to claim he balanced the budget out of his managerial genius while increasing fees of $750 million on middle-class families. So that's part of our mission here today. We're networking and finding really great ideas from other states on how they're building the grassroots, how they're driving the results in this election. People are geared up, they're fired up and ready to go. We're heading back to Massachusetts, ready for that last final push.
From a national perspective, and you know, there are other state party chairs that we'll be talking to throughout the next couple of days. How do you help a state like New Hampshire, which is obviously a swing state? The president is going to be there on Friday with the vice president. How do your operations in Massachusetts help those in New Hampshire, and presumably the people in Illinois help in Wisconsin?
Well, the first thing I do is I go up to New Hampshire and knock on doors and talk to people face to face. New Hampshireites are independent voters. They want to know not so much about what I think of as a Democrat, but why is Barack Obama best for New Hampshire? And there's such a good story to tell. So the first thing we do is we cross the line, we're welcomed, and we go talk to people face to face. You know, in addition, there are people in Massachusetts who are running phone banks here into New Hampshire, and that'll be a big piece. There are lots of people in New Hampshire that have friends who've moved up there or vacation up there, so they are building a, that kind of person-to-person network to the people they know. It's really important. We heard from David Seamus today that many of the paths to victory for the president pass through New Hampshire, so we have a big responsibility there.
What do you think of this whole discussion? We just finished talking with Mayor Menino about the Scott Brown situation. It seems to me that Elizabeth Warren stands for everything that every Democrat, whether you're on the conservative side or the most progressive side, going. I mean, she's a person who wants fiscal responsibility. She's a person who understands the need to help those who have been foreclosed upon, help those people who are unemployed. Are you now happy at this date that we are, as a party, as a state, rallied around Elizabeth Warren?
No question. Elizabeth Warren is a person who's going to allow Massachusetts to send a strong woman to the United States Senate. It's about time. She's a person worthy to stand in the state Senate seat, the U.S. Senate seat that Ted Kennedy occupies for 5 decades. Democrats are focused and they are working. We have the Elizabeth Warren campaign started knocking on doors in Massachusetts in February. And they're approaching 500,000 doors knocked. That's the kind of work, the face-to-face, person-to-person conversation that drives the kind of win we're going to need. It's not going to be easy because as lousy of a senator as Scott Brown is, he's a very good politician. He'll say whatever he needs to say. He will stay away from the issues in a remarkable, dogged way. But I think, you know, the election that's focused on images that he's running is one that you can beat with substance and grassroots, and that's what Elizabeth Warren's campaign is building to a historic degree.
President Obama's support, his strong ties to the Massachusetts community, is that a big part of this grassroots support? In other words, if Obama gets a big vote out, Warren gets a big vote out, there's the win.
No question. And you know, it's easy because people in Massachusetts recognize how important it is. They recognize why it's important because to some degree they hear the President of the United States echoing the values and the programs that are working here in Massachusetts. When the President wants to give health care to all Americans, it's not a theory here. 99.8% of our kids, more than 98% of everybody has access. We know what that means. It means that families in Massachusetts are not facing foreclosure because of ridiculous health care bills. When he's talking about investing in our infrastructure, he's saying the same thing that Governor Patrick's been working on for 6 years. That infrastructure, the innovation, and the education investments are Massachusetts. Not only does it ring true to who we are, but it's not a theory here. It's something that is evident. To have the support of a president, a federal government in achieving those goals and to spreading those successes around is really an excellent, excellent reason that Massachusetts voters. In addition to that, we work really hard. We knock on their doors and we remind them so they don't forget.
Are you looking to pick up not only more seats in the state house, and but also there's other races that are out there? What are your thoughts down ballot?
So, you know, in 2010, we won every statewide office. We won every state Senate seat where we had a candidate. We won every congressional seat. But there were more than a dozen freshmen that were elected to our House of Representatives. And these are not maybe even the kind of Republicans you've seen. These are really serious, hard, right-wing, Tea Party, social conservatives. And they're driving an agenda that is right now a discussion. But we need to make sure that those numbers don't increase, and we're going to send some of those Tea Partiers back to where they came from and replace them with good Democrats.
John Walsh, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great to see you.
You're welcome.